Hey everyone, welcome to this stream. So today we are starting a new stream series where I will be learning Dart, and I will first learn Dart and then I will start contributing to Birb language. So that is the plan for this stream series. So let me just first welcome everyone in the stream. Hey Mr. PhD, welcome to the stream. How's the college? It is pretty good. I just had 3 lectures yesterday, so I'm still in kind of a learning new things stage right now. So not sure how well it will go, but yeah. Hey Smith, welcome to the stream. Okay, let me just look at my Discord and then we'll start. Then I will give a brief introduction of what we are going to do in this whole stream series. Okay. Let me know if audio or voice anything is not proper or as it should be. Okay. Okay. So yesterday when I was having conversation with Andy on our Discord server, he mentioned that he is working on Birb language, and then I looked into it and I was really impressed that it's not because that if it wasn't because that that this language will be a kind of a production ready and many people will use it. I don't think so. This whole language is in that stage yet, but I will wish that many people start using it in the production version. We can make it something like that. I will definitely want that. So when I looked into the code for this language, I was really impressed that how many different things it includes, and I just wanted to contribute to it. And that's why I am starting this video series. I have already talked with the contributors that I am gonna stream and they are okay with this, so I think it will be fine. And they have written this language in Dart in the Dart. So because of that reason, I will first need to learn Dart language, and then I will start looking into the code very deeply, and then I will do some contribution to this language. So that's the whole plan for this stream series. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Here is the docs for the language. It's very simple at this moment. It doesn't include very flashy features or something like that, but they are still working on this, and I also want to work on this and add some new features as well. Let's have a quick stretch. Also, I don't think so I will be able to stream very long today because I have a college starts at 12, so it might be like an hour long, I guess. Yes, I was watching some tutorials yesterday. I didn't complete the whole video, but yeah, when I looked into this, that I kind of felt that Dart is in between a language like JavaScript and a language like a language with strict types, something like Java or anything like that. it sits between those languages. Okay. So they have also provided contribution steps for this. That's nice. Cool. We will look into the whole this language later, because first I need to learn that language itself. So that's what I will do in this stream. I will try to make some project or something like, or I might just go through docs and learn new things about that. So that's what I am planning to do. This whole stream series will basically represent a journey of that newbie who learns the language and then start contributing to another language which is built upon this. And Andy also mentioned that the reason behind choosing that was that it lets the language so that their language can run on multiple platforms. The Dart language can run on mobile, can run on web, and it can also run on, there was another platform, I totally forgot that. So yeah, the AOT compile is one of the fast compilers, and backend code supporting your app written in single programming language. What was the third platform? Let me just find it very quickly. I totally forgot that. It will be here. I can find it right now, but yeah, basically Dart language lets it will let your code run in multiple platforms. So that is an amazing feature of Dart. So that's what I am going to do in this stream. I will just go through docs and I will just learn new things. I already know the basics, so I will just kind of give a broad eye, like I will just look over those part, and then I will start looking deep into the documentations. It's better if you install it instead of using the online editor. It's limited. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. But it is a cool tool though. So if you are just starting out and you don't want to install everything, so you can just start learning Dart, running your code in the online editor. I will add the link in the chat. So that is a nice thing. And they also provide some tutorials, like the basics one, asynchronous programming streams, install shared packages. Okay, so let's just start looking into the documentation. We will first set up Dart, and then we will try running our code. And I will also paste the link to the GitHub repo for the Birb language. Let me know guys if you have any questions. You can do HTML stuff, import .html. Oh, that's cool. I never knew that. That's nice. Let's go to the language tour. I think it will be a faster way. So this is how a basic Dart program looks. A print integer, which it's a method. Then we are providing a strict type to a variable, and then we are just doing some print, which is very the print command looks very similar to console.log in JavaScript. and this is where apps start executing. Yeah, it's very similar to Java, where it also has main method which runs your whole application, and then we are calling the print integer method here. Okay, that's nice, that's good. Important concepts, everything you can place in variable is an object. Okay, so that is an object oriented language, similar to JavaScript, where everything are what's the word for that, everything is treated as object. So even the string or number, everything is treated as an object, and each object has different methods on that which you can use. That suppose generic types, list, integer. Okay, it's kind of an array or dynamic. That's nice. And those are the keywords. It also has async functions. That's nice. Let's look into the variables now. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. So you can create a dynamic variables using var or using dynamic keyword, which is these variables are very similar to JavaScript, where you can change the type of the variable during runtime. So they support that feature, as well as they also support the strict types. So if you have defined variable as string, then you cannot give number value to it. You could use var too. Yeah, that's true. But if I am writing the code, I would rather use dynamic, as it says what kind of a variable it is, rather than var. It might confuse from JavaScript, I guess. Dynamic will make more sense, that it gives an idea what kind of variable it is by reading that line. Okay, then the default value. Okay, the default value is none, very similar to JavaScript. Final and const. Okay, so we can use final similar to Java, or const similar to JavaScript. Either instead of var or any additional type. A final variable can be set only once. Yeah, so those are constants. I think var is the recommended by the Dart team. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't knew that. That was good to hear. So yeah, if that is the preferred, yeah, I see that they are using var rather than dynamic. So yeah, that's a good thing that I learned before I even started coding in that. So yeah, I will make sure that I will use var from during my coding. Okay, and final just makes the variables as a constants. Okay, where were we? Okay, yeah, those are the final. Okay, so constant bars is equivalent to constant array. Oh, I see. So can you use const keyword while assigning value to it? or is it a special case for an array? So like can I do a string foo is equal to constant then the value of, oh yeah, that won't work. Yeah, I see the problem. Yeah, so I think it is only for the list type of in the Dart. You can change the value of non-final non-constant variable even if used to have a constant value. Const for, you mean initializing expression of const declaration like baz above. For details see don't use constant redundantly. Let's see that. Default values are not included in the list because future version of Dart may support non-constant default values. Basically any place where it would be an array, would be an error to write new constant, new instead of constant. Dart 2 allows you to omit the constant. Okay, so primary colors, we can write it like this rather than writing it like this. Okay, I think I see what they are saying here. And I won't be able to change any value in the array, right? So if the const primary characters, let me just open VS Code. What I can do is just let me just do it in Dart because I still have to install Dart locally on my machine. So what I am saying that if I have characters, which is an array of 2, 3 and 5, so will I be able to change characters? Can I do something like this in the JavaScript similar to JavaScript? Can I change it to 6? Undefined name characters. Oh, I misspelled. It is a constant. You can change constants once you define them. Okay. So I was confused because if you have written in JavaScript, if you have defined object as constant in JavaScript, you can still change the value of the object. So that's why I was a bit confused. Yeah, that's what I was confused about. Also, how can we change a value of element inside the array? Because it's saying that unsupported operation indexed set. Do we have any I do see that there is an index of method. Dot change array value. It modify the values from item within list. Yeah, so I can, so I think I did right thing there. we can change values this way, similar to JavaScript. Yeah, I am still saying it array. So this is the right expression, right? Yeah, I will try that. Yeah, so it does seems that the content is not mutable in Dart language. Oh, it was laggy. Let me see if there is anything running behind. Okay, I will skip the backup. That is paused. Everything else is paused. Okay. So yeah, this is actually a nice thing, because in JavaScript, if you define an array or define any object as constant, then you can change the value afterwards during runtime. While Dart does not let you change the value of the list, and it is really good because it does make sense that if the list is constant, then the value should not be changed during runtime. I really like that, to be honest. Okay. Constant variable can be assigned a value. Valid compile time constant as of Dart. Yeah, it is immutable. Dart language has these types inbuilt: numbers, strings, booleans, list, also known as arrays, sets, maps. I am guessing that maps would be very similar to the objects in JavaScript. Even I'm not sure though. For expressing Unicode characters in strings, runes, and symbols. I have an idea, like I have a pretty good idea what kind of variables these fours are, but I am not sure what are these last four types. I will need to look into that. Double, it makes sense. If number and its subtypes don't have what you're looking for, that math library might be okay. JavaScript has a map method for array. It's a function for an array objects. So you can just loop through each object and you can change the value. sorry, you can change the value. You can create a duplicate array, and then so let me just explain it. So if the first, there is an array of certain some numbers, and then we just map through each items in that array, and then we are multiplying each item to 2 and creating a new array which includes updated values. So that's how the map works in JavaScript. Okay, double z is equal to equivalent to double z is 1.0. Okay, I see. That does make sense. Okay, string to int dot parse 1. Okay. One dot to string method. I see. To string as fixed. Then I did notice that many methods has very similar names to JavaScript. The int type specifies this traditional bait Swift. Okay. Okay, 3 1 is equal to 6. I see. Okay. And constants. Literal numbers are compiled time constants. Many arithmetic expressions are also compiled time constants as long as their operands are compiled time constant that evaluate two numbers. Okay. That string is sequence of UTF 16 code units. You can use either single or double quotes to create string. Okay. I see. And you can put the value of expression inside string by using exclamation. Oh, sorry, it's a $sign and curly braces. Which is very handy. Equal to dot head string interpolation. Okay, so I don't need to put curly braces, right? I can just write $sign and then the name of the variable. And it also works with so it does it only work if let me just look at the first documentation first. Because in the JavaScript you will need to use backticks to use string interpolation, and I don't think so that string interpolation in that requires any specific quote types. It works in all of them, right? And if I create a string with 3 quotation marks, it creates multi-line string. So basically it gives the stylings spaces and white spaces and tabs inside the strings. Okay. You can also create a raw string by prefixing it with R. Okay, so it will it will not execute any special characters, something like /n or /t, \t. Yeah, that's cool. Booleans. Only two objects have type bool. The booleans returns true and false. That's type safely means that you can't use code like if non-boolean or assert. Instead explicitly check for values like this. That isn't okay. That's type safety means that you can't use code like if non-boolean value or a set non-boolean value. Okay. Perhaps the most common collection in nearly every programming language is an array or ordered group of objects. In that, arrays are list objects, so list objects. So most people just call them lists. Okay. That list literals look like JavaScript arrow literals. It's a simple Dart list. 0 based indexing, where 0 is the index of the first element. Okay, I got that. Yeah, they are explaining it here. So if the list is constant, then you cannot change the value during runtime. Oh, it also has a spread operator. That's nice. And it also a null over spread operator. That is pretty cool. Hey Pratham, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. I really like the spread operator in JavaScript as well. It does give a really good features, I guess, while you are writing code using the language. Okay. Also introduce a collection if and collection for, which you can use to build collection using conditionals. Oh, that is pretty cool. So I can add a value which depends on some condition, or I can just look through it. Nice. I am really loving the Dart language now. Okay, hello guys. Sets. A set in Dart is an unordered collection of unique items. Dart support for sets is provided by set literals and set type. Here's a simple Dart setup creating using set literal. Okay, so it looks like sets are similar to objects in JavaScript. So I was wrong about maps. A set string name, this works too. Var name creates a map, not a set. To create an empty set, use precedence by type argument or assign. The syntax for map literals similar that for set literal, because map literal comes first, defaults to map type. If you forget a type annotation on object or the variable it's assigned to, then Dart creates an object of type map dynamic. Okay. So let me just see what the difference between maps and sets. Oh, I see. Okay. So the maps are objects in JavaScript, kind of, and the sets are an object which only includes values, while maps are key and value pair kind of an type. Okay. So if I create a set of numbers, then I can only add numbers in that set. And if I create a map, then the key value, I can change key values type as well as the values type, which I am supposed to enter in the variable, if I am right, I guess. Yeah, I think that's all, I guess. Yeah, I think I am going in right direction on that one. Rounds and grapheme clusters. The entire rounds expose the Unicode points of string. Define the unique numeric value for each letter digit. Okay, for example, the hard character to specify more or less, for less the values in curly braces, for example. First, I will need to import this characters module or a library, and then I can use emojis. I mean different characters. Okay. Dot characters dot last. Let me look at the characters object. Character is a Unicode graphing substring of the original string. The character class is an. However, unlike most iterables, many of them operations are eager since the underlying string is known as. Okay. You might never need to use symbols, but they are invaluable for APIs that refer to identifiers by name because of changes in names, but not identifier symbols to get the symbol. Okay, and then we have our functions. So we can specify a return type on the function, and it takes an arguments. Then we do some thing with arguments, and then we return the values if we want. Otherwise, we can create a void function. For function that contains just one expression, you can also use shorthand syntax. That is nice. I really love this syntax in JavaScript as well. Arrow syntax, yep. Optional parameters, named parameters. When calling a function, you can specify named parameter using dot value. Okay, I can say, like, basically I can set the default values to the parameters. We can also pass an object as a parameters, which is really useful when you are passing too many arguments to a function. Oh, we can also define that the if value is required in that argument. I really like that. We can also assign default values inside the maps as well. Okay, string and array. Okay, I see. Here they are passing a list, a map, and then just we are using it inside the function. Every app must have a top level main function which serves as an entry point to the app. The main function returns void and has an optional string parameter for arguments. Function as first class objects. You can pass a function as a parameter to another function. For example, okay, for each we are, oh, I see. You can also assign a function to a variable such as, okay, very similar to JavaScript. Anonymous functions. So yeah, we just create right inside where we are supposed to pass a function. Okay. Learning that is going really easy for me. I think it's because I have already coded a lot in JavaScript. Lexical scope, that is lexically scoped language, which means the scope of variables determined statically. Simply by the layout of the code, you can follow the curly braces outwards to see a variables in a scope. Yeah, so this variable is only available inside the main function, but inside nested function variable is not available outside its parent function. So it kind of create a variable accessibility boxes or virtual variable accessibility boxes around the using the curly braces. It defines that if those are available outside that code block or not. Closure is a function that has access to variable in its lexical scope even when the function is used outside of its original scope. Returns a function that adds add by to the function's argument. Add by plus I. Then main function to create a function that adds to, yeah. So yeah, basically we are returning an, so this make adder function is returning another function which gets an argument and increments by the value that was provided while we initiated function using make adder. Okay. Testing functions for equality. Here's an example of testing top level functions, static methods and instant methods for equality. Comparing static methods. Static method, instant method. I might need to look into this after the stream. I'm really confused about this. What are they saying that? What are they? What does that mean about functions of equality? I am a bit confused. I think I will firstly need to look into the class objects and then I think it will make more sense. Function return value. If no return value is specified, the statement return null is implicitly returned to the function body. Okay. Then we have some operators. Yeah, unary, postfix, and prefix. The saved and or bitwise. Then we have relational, type test, is not. Okay. If null, I see. We have also conditional expression and different assignments, etc. Okay. If the type is person, okay. True if the object has a specified type. If the object has, yeah, okay, so it's the kind of a negative operator for is. Assign value to b if b is null, otherwise b stays the same. Okay, yeah, I see. Assign value only if the object is null. Inverts the following expression. Okay, I see. The logical or, logical and. Those are bitwise shift operators. Conditional expressions. Test for null, considering using double question marks. Cascade notation, that is something interesting. Allows you to make sequence of operators on the same object. In addition to functions called, you can also access fields on the same object. This often saves you the step of creating a temporary variable and allows you to write more fluid code. Get an object, use its members. Query selector confirm. Okay, I got a HTML element which has an ID of confirm. Then we access the text inside that. Then we add a class. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, it is like yeah, we are just basically chaining it, right? So I can also, oh yeah, so it does make sense. It's really good. We can write 4 lines of code in just technically in just 1 line. Nice. Then we have other operators represent function call, list access, member access, and conditional member access. Okay, if yeah, I see. Question mark equal to 2, then which means Jenny would use the result of the previous function call for the next. Yeah, it won't use cascade, will use the original object. I see. So basically I cannot access the updated value which I change in text later words when I try to update something, when I try to use that text variable inside some other function, right? So if I try to update text variable back to what it was when user clicks on it, sorry, when user clicks on the button, and if I want to show the value of the text as an alert, would it still show me the old value, or will it show me the new value? And as Calamity mentioned that it still uses the original object, so I am guessing that that function will still give me the wrong value or the old value. Let me show you in the code what I am saying. So if I try to do, if I somehow try to get a text variable here to display as an alert, it will still show the wrong older value, right? Yeah, okay, it will be older value within Cascade. Yeah, thanks Calamity for the clarification. Is it Calamity or is it Calamity? I think it should be Calamity, right? Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. That's true. Okay. Then we have control flow statements. If, else, for, do while. Okay. So if else works very similar to JavaScript. Then we have for loops, which is very similar to JavaScript as well. Then we have for each function, similar to JavaScript. For in function. Okay. While we provide a condition, and it will keep running the function. Do println while. Okay, I see that as well. While, yeah, we can use break keyword using conditional statements. Okay. If you are using any iterable such as list or set, oh, iterable also has a where function similar to like a where in databases. Oh, cool. Yeah. Filter in JS. Yeah. That's nice. And then we are looping through that new updated filtered array at this line of the code. Okay. We also have switch case. We have this assert function for, I think, testing conditional optional messages. Nice. Then we have exceptions. So we can throw in type of an error inside our code that expect at least one section. Okay. You can also throw error using this string. This might use an generic error object. Expression, you can throw expression in statements. Unimplemented array. Okay. Then we have try catch object, try catch function, sorry, expression. So try, and then we catch on an error, and then we can define a generic catch function which catches all other errors. Yeah, it does make very easy to learn that if you have experience with JavaScript. Oh, this is really good keyword. Misbehavior partially handled. I think this read through function can be really helpful while we are building another language using Dart, so that you can create a custom message using, if you use a custom error message for your errors, and then you can also throw that exception again. And we also have finally to catch all other errors, whether or not, yeah, sorry, yeah, the finally code block runs even if the error even if there was any exceptions or not inside our code, is simpler than catch e throw elol, yeah. So now we have classes and generics and some other stuff. I think I will end stream here, I guess, because I still have classes to attend soon. I still need to take my lunch before my classes start. So I have been streaming for 1 hour. So I think I will just continue learning Dart language from classes in next stream. I am planning to do it. I might do it in this weekend, or it might be in the next weekend, maybe similar time on Wednesday. So I think I will take a break now. If I try to learn everything at one day, it will clutter up my mind and I won't be able to remember anything afterwards. So I think I will just stop it here and let me set up that locally. Okay. Brew also supports switch for that. That's nice. Let's create directory. Learning Dart. Create a dummy file until Brew installs it. And let's create a classic hello world. I will also need to update Xcode select. I will do it later. Okay, I think I can use Dart though. Dart main. It is installed it is the Dart is installed locally now. That's cool. I will run this later afterwards. So I think I will end the stream now. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I know it was a bit boring that I was just going through the documentation on the page, but soon I will start building something using Dart to get some experience, and then I will take a deep look into the code for Birb language, and then we'll start doing some contribution to the language. Thank you everyone for this joining in. I will see you soon, maybe this weekend or next week. See ya.